Hello, my revolutionary people. Okay, I'm coming more alive here. They're getting kind of ruthless with the gas and the lead. I got dirty water from Albertsons and from Walgreens. It has lead in it. You can tell if your water has lead by putting a little bit in your mouth and seeing if it makes your mouth go numb, your teeth go numb, or if it makes your brain tingle. Like, it's this weird, you can feel like, just pay attention to what happens in your head. Like, does your mouth go numb? Does your tongue go numb? Does the roof of your mouth go numb? And then can you feel it in your brain? Like, it's this tingly feeling. If you buy water or you drink water, definitely check it. When you open a new bottle of water, just try it and see what happens. I would be intrigued to know if there is a place that only gets clean water, because I'm pretty sure no, it's not possible, because there's always the people, and all they do is they put drops on the outside of the bottle and it sinks through the plastic. So it's not even necessarily the water company, it's just the people. It's just the people. And then, side note, I got sidetracked, but one of the people who lived at the death camp used to work at one of the water companies. What was it? Crystal Geyser or whatever. And so he was telling me weird stuff about that. I don't really remember any specifics, but just the fact that he was there at the death camp and he worked at the water company probably says a lot, right? He was from California, I think. So that was intriguing. There was a lot of different kinds of people there from all over, sent there to die. People don't want to talk about it, so they don't want to hear about it, is what I've noticed, especially by text. Anytime I talk to somebody, they don't want to acknowledge what is happening because they don't want proof of anything coming back to them. Like today, I went ahead and I returned the water from Albertsons, and instead of refunding my card like they've done everywhere else, she just gave me $1 or whatever. She just doesn't want proof. So I'm going to take this as the fact that I think I'm getting close. I'm not anywhere near where I would like to be, but I'm on the right path. I guess as long as I leave a trail, right? That seems to be the thing. Make as much chaos as possible. That's what my family does, right? It's working for them, or it has worked for them for however long. And okay, so I have a lot of pieces in my head, and I was hoping you could just listen while I put them together, because I can't really think clearly, but when I talk to you, things seem to go into place. So let's try it again. Today I researched epigenetics and actually read up, watched videos kind of thing, and they're using our epigenetics against us as well. Epigenetics wasn't really known about too much until the 70s. Coincidence? Epigenetics, or what was it? Neurolinguistic programming, all in the 70s. And these are things they use against us. So, sorry about the motorcycles, but you know. So, I'm not quite sure how this all fits together, but epigenetics is something like when I saw the people in Albuquerque, especially the guy from Smith's at the self-checkout that just hated himself, and he tried to project it on me. His epigenetics were awful. And I'm starting to think, and then I watched the videos, and people who overeat have worse epigenetics than people who undereat and starve. So what they're doing is they're causing us to overeat, but a diet that causes deficiencies, vitamin and mineral deficiencies, because those we also inherit. And so they're doing the best of both worlds. So here are the people that starve and have vitamin and mineral deficiency, and here are the people who overeat and die 6 years earlier on average. The generations that follow them die 6 years earlier. I don't know about you, but I know my grandma Kudrow, she had diabetes, and I don't know, she was really overweight, and just her body had to hurt. I don't remember feeling people's body when I was younger, and she always seemed pretty happy when she was with me and my cousin Jay, but she loves us. She still does so much. But okay. Got a little distracted there. So, epigenetics. they're using it against us. But the guy in Smith's at the self-checkout and those people in Albuquerque that I saw that day were just filled with hate. That's part of the epigenetics, because they just don't have access. The fact that they don't have access to all their brain is part of the epigenetics, because they've been basically genetically modified to not have access to as much of the human experience, so that they're easier to control. How crazy is that? Like, that's why, because through epigenetics and like their gut bacteria and all the gas that they do and the autoimmune and everything, they have everybody stuck in a fight or flight response. And that's because your vagus nerve, the one in your brain that calms you down, is just all out of whack, because it needs all the things in your body to be in place in order to work correctly. So you all don't have access to the beauty of the world, just like you don't have access to all your brain. So no wonder you don't know what I'm talking about. Like, it takes a lot of work, and you have to give up almost everything to feel the things that I feel. I don't know how much of everything you got to give up, but I think it's a lot. Excuse me, they're gassing me really hard. I think that's why I started crying. I got emotional right when the RV next to me just pulled up. Sorry about that, but it does happen. I don't know what gas it is that makes me just want to choke up sometimes. That's what they want. They want you emotional, just like they want to get me emotional. They wanted to stop me from making this video is what they wanted. See, and there's even more cars. A truck. I have a sign that I created out of poster board with my domain, You Deserve to Heal. Please check it out. And I'm talking to my Jeep cam people too, because there is a camera in my Jeep. So epigenetics can be changed. You just have to change your environmental factors. Epigenetics is basically the study of how your environment affects your genes and then affects the generations following you, which is exactly what they're doing to us. They're ruining our environment so that they can ruin the generations to come. And they're just going to make them even more unable to access the beauty of the world and their brain. It just makes me wonder, like, what were they doing when they made me? Like, were they not thinking? I don't remember I was smart when I was younger. Like, they let me be smart when I was younger. I didn't have lead poisoning as bad even as I do now. I still have lead poisoning super bad. And the dogs do too. Like, everyone I know we all have lead poisoning. It's from the environment. Like, unless you live on, like, I would say probably, well, even if you live on like 100 acres or 50 acres in the middle of nowhere, there's still airplanes that fly over. And I can feel that when because I'm in New Mexico and there's one of the largest air force or something like that, but there's definitely some air traffic. And when I noticed one day, I don't remember where I was exactly. It was in New Mexico though. And you can feel it in your lymphatic system if you just check into your body when one of those things goes by. It's pretty intense. So I've been all over the place. So epigenetics is a huge thing. The gut bacteria thing is a huge thing. And there have been studies about epigenetics, gut bacteria, and autism. And they are all linked. So lactobacillus, that one is important. It helps your brain release more feel-good stuff, more of the fun stuff in your brain. It helps you release that stuff. So you need to cultivate your gut bacteria. Now I think if everybody just started intermittent fasting does the most, because it's all less is more. Less is always more. Instead of trying to like add shit that people can poison, just do less of everything. That is what's worked for me. I was always add more, kind of person, but as soon as I tried to do less, that's when things really started working for me. So yeah, so start fasting, intermittent fasting. Do like 12 to like 22 hours a day if you can. I'm the happiest. Some days I only do like 15, or I don't know. I do what I can. If you're hungry, eat something. Like, if your body needs fuel, if your body needs nourishment. That's what they're doing right now to me. They're trying to starve me. And I have been eating potatoes because I'm starving. It is what it is, but I have to stay alive if I want to fix this or figure it out. And so, Jesus Christ. Okay. I am so human some days. See? That gas, it makes you more human in the sense that it makes you easier to control because you can't control your own emotions. You see how I want to keep stopping the video because I can't get it together? There's a lesson right there. You can see it. That gas is not good for you. Your emotions are your gut bacteria. So every time I have an emotional response like that, it means that my gut bacteria is being attacked, pretty much. Epigenetics. It's all about epigenetics. But the cool thing about epigenetics is if you change your environment and what you're doing, you can change your gene expression. How cool is that? Like, that's freaking magic. Like, you can be your own little weird scientist. How cool. Like, I know it's probably not fun to you all, but I think it's amazing. And you can do good things for your kids. Even if you don't have kids, if you want to have them in like 10 years, you can start working on that now so that they have a better life. That's true power right there. True power is when you want to do good and you don't know when it's going to happen, but you just do good because you know eventually one day it will do good. That is true power. That is true power. Okay, guys. That was really rambly and all over the place, but I love you all. And you are beautiful. You are amazing. You are perfect just the way you are right now in this moment as a growing human who is a work in progress. We are all works in progress. And as long as you are trying and doing and being a good person, you are perfect in this moment. That's all we can ask for. That's all we can ask for is someone who wants to be good, someone who wants to try, someone who does. We don't always get the same results, but over time, it snowballs and you get good things. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Good thought of the day. What are you doing today to improve your gene expression? I wouldn't suggest drinking more water because there's no real studies that say we need to drink more water or that it even helps. I think it just pollutes your body more because the water's not clean. Random fact. So I would say fasting. How long can you go without eating? The longest I've ever gone without eating is, I think, the 7 days at the beginning of this adventure. When I left Arizona, drove through Nevada, California, and got to Oregon, I think I went about 7 days without eating. I know I went 7 days without eating. And then I started eating raw meat. I didn't eat raw meat in Arizona, but I mean, I took a couple bites because I'd feed it to the dogs, but I hadn't been